We're diving into the world of AI today,
Yeah.
specifically an area where it's beginning to design, itself.
Hmm.
You sent us a bunch of articles and even some code
Right.
about Google's AlphaChip.
Yeah.
It's like AI designing the very chips that power AI.
It's cutting edge stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, and I have to admit, it's a bit mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin?
Well, I think the most fascinating aspect of all this is that AlphaChip isn't some kind of like futuristic concept.
Right.
It's been quietly revolutionizing chip design at Google for years.
Mm.
In fact, it's played a significant role in developing the TPUs that power Google's latest AI Gemini.
Okay, hold on. For
Yeah.
those of us who aren't up on our Google AI acronyms,
Sure.
what's so special about TPUs?
So imagine trying to teach your dog a complex trick
Okay.
using only hand gestures.
Oh.
It'd struggle to communicate effectively, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's like trying to run advanced AI on traditional computer chips. They just weren't built for it. TPUs, on the other hand, are specifically designed for the massive calculations AI requires.
Yeah.
Things like understanding language or generating realistic images.
So AlphaChip designs these TPUs,
Yes.
but how does an AI even learn to do something as complex as chip design?
Right.
It's not like there's an AI design school or something.
Yeah, well, it's actually surprisingly similar to how AI learns to play games.
Okay.
Remember AlphaGo?
Yeah.
The program that mastered the incredibly complex game of Go?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Beat the world champion, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
AlphaChip utilizes a similar approach called reinforcement learning. It's like giving an AI a giant circuit board and letting it experiment by placing components in different arrangements.
Okay.
If a layout works well, the AI gets rewarded. If it doesn't, it learns from the mistake and tries something else.
So it's trial and error, but on like a massive, super fast scale because it's AI doing the work.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the results are impressive.
Okay.
Some of the articles you sent mentioned AlphaChip creating superhuman chip designs.
Okay.
That might sound like hype,
Right.
but the research actually backs it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Better than human engineers.
In many cases, yes.
Wow.
And what's even more remarkable is the speed.
Okay.
AlphaChip can design chips that are as good as or even outperform those designed by humans, but it does it in a fraction of the time, sometimes in hours instead of weeks or months. Hours?
Yeah.
Hours?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. I can barely decide what I'm having for lunch in an hour, let alone design a complex computer chip.
It's remarkable. And we have specific examples of this. You know, the research papers you shared highlight AlphaChip's performance on Google's TPU generations,
Right?
including the V5e, the V5P, and even the 6th generation Trillium.
Okay.
In each of these cases, AlphaChip consistently designed better chip layouts compared to previous generations, even tackling more of the overall floor plan.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah.
Designing a chip, even with AI help, seems incredibly complex.
Yeah.
How does AlphaChip even know what a good layout looks like?
Right. That's where the magic of AI comes in.
Okay.
Specifically a type called a graph neural network.
Okay. It's a mouthful, I know, but bear with me.
Right. Lay it on me.
So think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine you're organizing a massive banquet,
Okay.
maybe hundreds of people.
Okay.
You need to consider, who should sit next to whom for the best flow of conversation,
Right.
who needs to be close to the stage, and so on.
So many factors, just like a complex circuit board.
Exactly. A graph neural network
Yeah.
helps AlphaChip understand the relationships between all the individual components on a chip,
Okay.
kind of like mapping out the connections and dependencies between all those banquet guests.
Right.
This allows it to figure out the most efficient arrangement, ensuring everything runs smoothly and efficiently.
So AlphaChip is like a super-powered event planner for computer chips, optimizing performance instead of seating arrangements.
A very apt analogy.
Yeah.
And this isn't just some internal Google project, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The articles you send mention that MediaTek, a major chip designer for smartphones, is already using AlphaChip.
Wait, so this technology is already impacting the devices I'm using?
Absolutely.
Wow.
We're using it for advanced chips like the Dimensity flagship 5G,
Okay.
the ones you find in some high-end smartphones.
So AlphaChip is playing a role in, shaping the very devices that we use every day.
It is.
This is really making me think differently about the phone in my pocket.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for the future? Are human chip designers going to be out of a job?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The reality is a bit more nuanced than that.
So it's not just going to be like robots taking over.
No, not quite. At least not yet.
Okay.
Right now, AlphaChip is primarily a tool that's making chip design faster and more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as an AI assistant
Okay.
or like a co-pilot
Okay.
for human engineers.
So instead of replacing humans, it's more about enhancing their capabilities.
Exactly.
Okay.
Human expertise is still really essential,
Right.
especially when it comes to things like setting the overall design goals,
Yeah.
considering specific constraints,
Right.
and ensuring that the chip actually aligns with its intended purpose.
Right.
AlphaChip excels at handling like the more tedious, time-consuming aspects of the design process,
Okay.
freeing up engineers to focus on the bigger picture.
That makes sense. It's like having an AI intern that can
Yeah.
crunch through thousands of design possibilities
Right.
in the time it takes us to grab a cup of coffee.
A very, very efficient intern.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the most exciting part is this is just the beginning.
Really?
AlphaChip is still evolving,
Okay.
and its capabilities could expand significantly in the future.
So what are we talking about here? What else could it potentially do?
So right now, AlphaChip is mainly focused on the floor planning stage of chip design,
Okay.
which is crucial,
Right.
but it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
There are many other aspects of chip design
Right.
where AI could play a role,
Okay.
from optimizing power consumption
All right.
to even selecting the best materials.
So it's like going from designing the layout of a city
Mm-hmm.
to also figuring out the best power grid,
Yes.
the most efficient transportation system,
Right.
even the types of materials to use for the building.
Precisely. And the research hints at AlphaChip potentially tackling more of these areas in the future.
Really?
Yeah, the possibilities are incredibly exciting.
It sounds like we're on the verge of a revolution
Yeah,
in chip design with AI playing an increasingly central role.
absolutely. And this has implications far beyond just like
Okay.
faster smartphones or
Right.
more powerful computers.
Yeah.
Faster, more efficient chips mean more powerful and accessible AI overall.
Right.
This translates to advancements in almost every field imaginable.
Right.
Faster medical diagnoses,
Wow.
safer self-driving cars,
Okay.
personalized education,
Hmm.
even tackling climate change with more sophisticated simulations.
It's mind-blowing to think about the potential impact on our world.
It really is.
We started with AI designing AI.
Right.
And now we're talking about AI potentially solving some of humanity's biggest challenges.
It's a lot to process.
It really is. This deep dive has taken us from the intricate world of chip design
Yeah, it has.
to the very future of AI and its potential to reshape our world.
It really has.
It certainly has one last thought for our listeners to ponder.
Okay.
If an AI can design the chips that power AI, what else might it be capable of designing in the future?
That's a good question.
And what new possibilities and perhaps even challenges might this unlock? That's something to think about.